Good afternoon, guys. Welcome to Friday Afternoon Live at ADRP. Well, big news in the drag racing world this afternoon. Perth has announced that ANDRA will be the sanctioning body moving forward with all of their drag racing related exploits in the coming 12 months, I would imagine. We'll get some more detail around that. You guys have probably read the email better than I have, to be honest. We've been pretty flat out today. Been out to Sandown this morning to inspect the location we're going to be having the next ADRP Rockstars of Drag Racing Showcase, which will be at the Sandown 500 on the weekend of September 16 through 18. So that was pretty exciting, and got the location organised, a nice spot undercover so the cars will have plenty of protection, and hopefully we can expose drag racing to a whole bunch more motorsport fans. So obviously the news came through, and then I think Drag News were the first ones to actually get it out and release it. ANDRA have now come out. We've popped it up on our page as well from the ANDRA release. So there'll be more detail to come, as there always seems to be in drag racing at the moment. But over the next couple of weeks, once they get all of their I's dotted and T's crossed, we'll endeavour to catch up with some key stakeholders and get you some information direct from the horse's mouth as to what's going to be happening in Perth. I'm sure all of the Perth ANDRA members will be super happy. They've been pushing really hard over there. There's been a lot of chatter, a lot of noise coming out of Perth, and they've all been working very hard. It'd be interesting to get the lowdown on how ANDRA managed to get back in, which is, as I said, great news if you're an ANDRA licence holder. Everyone's going to have a different opinion. It's certainly going to mix things up a bit, though, now with the battle royale, I guess, between 400 Thunder / IHRA Australia and ANDRA and its incumbent series. I think, just quickly off the top of my head now, you've got the IHRA series, or 400 Thunder series, is basically there's the opening round up at Springmount for Pro Stock Bike and Pro Stock Car, but the big main events where they've got all the Group 1 brackets and sportsmen will obviously be Sydney, Brisbane, Sydney, Brisbane, Sydney, Brisbane, and ANDRA now will be looking at a Group 1 series. I would guess you'll have Calder, Adelaide, Perth, Darwin, Alice Springs, so it'll be very interesting to see how all of that pans out. Getting away from that topic, hopefully you've all seen Nicole popped up another short social tips video today on our page. Again, if you are a track, if you are a promoter, if you're a car owner, someone who does social for the teams, Nick's little tips and tidbits have been, I think, immensely helpful to a lot of people. We've got some great feedback on them. It's a full-time job keeping up with social media and the changes and the standards and the technologies that are out there. I know that we see new and different things all the time. We've also, of course, it is a big weekend of drag racing. We've got Jamboree on up in Queensland. We've got the Mildura Nostalgia round. You've got a little further afield, we've got the Tuckers testing and blowing the cobwebs out, I think was what Janine said this morning, of their Pro Stock Car and Shane down in Memphis, before heading off to the big go at Indy next weekend. And of course you've also got Anarchy Under the Arch, the outlaw pro mod. For those of you who know me, you know that my life has always been mad about pro mods back from the late 80s, when you had Bob Bunker and Charles Carpenter, Robbie Vandengriff, Kurt Coons, those sort of guys in the Quick 8, then Pro Mod series. So that's a quarter mile event where we've seen world records. We've seen our own local man, Paul Mahoyat, in the Moit's car over in that type of series go super fast. So it'll be interesting to see how fast and how many mile an hour we get to see those cars run over the quarter mile. Predominantly they're eighth mile cars. I think we saw a Facebook Live by Wes from Drag Illustrated the other day interviewing Jason Scruggs, and that car went with 8th mile gearing, I believe, got off it at about 800 feet, just on 200 mile an hour across the finish line, and went 551. So be interesting to see what those guys can pull out over a full quarter mile pull. Alfie, whenever you like, mate, I'll have to bring one to Sydney with me. Other than that, I think the ANDRA Perth deal has certainly caught everyone's attention and everyone's imagination today. There'll be no doubt a lot of social media banter over the next 48 or 72 hours on that. Everyone will get excited over the weekend. So if we've missed anything, if you've got any questions around social, if you've got any events you want to promote, just drop us a line, hit us up on Facebook Messenger. And other than that, we will come back to you on Monday with a bit of a wrap-up of what's happened and maybe some more detail on Perth, but I would think that'll be probably a week or two away. It'll be more around the exciting events that we see over the weekend. All right, guys, stay safe out there, go fast, and we look forward to speaking to you on Monday. Thanks for your time. Cheers.